Listen to me, dear soul. Something happened that they did not expect. They looked at you and saw more than they planned to see. They are startled. They are humbled. They are rethinking everything about you. Here is the truth the angels asked me to deliver. Stay with me. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let your heart be steady. This is for you. They thought you were easy to read. They were wrong. They saw a simple story. They missed the hidden chapters. Now the pages are open. Now the ink is fresh. Now the light is on your face. They found out your mind is fast. They learned your eyes catch what others miss. They realized you detect motives within seconds. You read rooms like maps. You track patterns like a hawk. You store details that others throw away. You connect dots without forcing them. You speak truth without flinching. You cut through noise without anger. You prefer clarity over applause. They are shocked that you will not play small. They are stunned that you won't beg to be chosen. You carry yourself with a quiet edge. Calm. Focused. Unbothered. Not cold. Just sovereign. They watched you say one clear sentence and end the debate. They thought you were soft. They found steel under silk. They thought you needed their approval. You removed the hook from your mouth and kept walking. They discovered your schedule is heavier than your smile shows. You carry tasks no one counts. You carry people no one thanks. You carry dreams and bills and prayers at the same time. You lift your family with one hand and your future with the other. You don't shout about it. You don't ask for medals. You do the work and move on. They saw you hit a wall. They waited for you to fold. You didn't. You adjusted your stance. You shifted your weight. You found a door the wall was hiding. You walked through. They called you stubborn. The angels call you steady. They called you guarded. The angels call you wise. They called you too serious. The angels call you focused on destiny. They peeked into your circle and were surprised. You have friends who show up at midnight. You have sisters and brothers who pray without posting. You celebrate others loudly. You aren't threatened by someone else's good news. You clap for people even when you're still waiting for yours. Your heart builds tables. Your voice says sit, eat, heal. They didn't expect your joy to be this real. They didn't expect your laugh to reset the room. They didn't expect your presence to feel like home. They didn't expect you to forgive without forgetting the lesson. They didn't expect your boundaries to be this clear. They thought your past owned you. It doesn't. You honor where you came from. But you don't live there anymore. You kept the wisdom and left the weight. You kept the memory and left the shame. You kept the roots and grew a new garden. They thought you were reckless. You are ready. Ready means prayed up, studded up, healed enough to move. You don't rush. You don't stall. You move when the inner green light turns on. You move when the peace arrives. You move when heaven taps your shoulder. They noticed the timing around you. It looks like grace. Doors open while you're still walking toward them. People call right when you need a name. Resources appear the week your faith stretches thin. This isn't luck. This is alignment. This is the clockwork of heaven quietly serving your steps. They tested you with half-truths. You answered with whole truth. Your yes is clean. Your no is soft but final. You don't argue long. You don't trade insults. You state your boundary once and live it. And if they come back to negotiate your dignity, you smile and go back to work. They assumed you were breakable. They discovered you are bendable. You don't snap. You curve with the wind. You anchor deeper when storms press. Your scars are maps. Your tears are oil. Your silence is a sanctuary you built with God. They saw you alone and called it loneliness. It was training. It was pruning. It was your soul pulling roots from old soil. It was God hiding you from cheap offers. It was your spirit learning the sound of its own voice again. They noticed your house feels lighter. Your phone quieter. Your food simpler. Your heart gentler. You removed clutter they were standing in. You stopped explaining the obvious. You stopped begging people to see what angels already confirmed. They opened your page and saw studies and notes. They saw deadlines met without drama. They saw early mornings and unglamorous tasks. They saw receipts for things you invested in when no one believed. They realized discipline made your talent honest. They realized patience made your gifts credible. They are confused by your peace. You have bills, and yet you sleep. You have enemies, and yet you bless. You have options, and yet you wait. This kind of peace is not natural. It is chosen. It is practiced. It is protected. They thought you would chase. You didn't. You became. You didn't prove. You improved. You didn't shout. You shifted. You didn't compete. You completed what you were sent to do today. They thought your faith was just quotes. Then they watched you act on it. They watched you forgive someone who wasn't sorry. They watched you return money that wasn't yours. They watched you keep a promise no one could enforce. They watched you sow when you were low. They watched you worship with wet eyes and steady hands. Now they know. Your faith is not a caption. It is your spine. They tried gossip. It died in your air. They tried urgency. You refused panic. They tried silence. You built with it. They tried to make you predictable. You chose obedience instead. They see angels around you. They do not have words for it. They say luck. They say timing. They say energy. We say God. They are scared of how quickly you recover. A setback pushes most people into hiding. It pushes you into strategy. You rest, then you move. You cry, then you plan. You lose, then you learn exactly why. You turn pain into instructions. They noticed your phone habits changing. Less scrolling. More reading. Less reacting. More creating. Your feed lost power. Your future gained it. They expected you to ask permission. You asked for wisdom. You got it. You applied it. You outgrew rooms without announcing your exit. They thought you were romantic about memories. You are loyal to lessons, not loops. You honor the past. You don't reenact it. You bless what used to be. You invest in what will be. They checked your face for anger. They found focus. They checked your words for bitterness. They found boundaries. They checked your steps for revenge. They found purpose. They believed they could shape your identity. They can't. Your name was carved by a higher hand. Your calling stands when feelings fall. Your worth is not a vote. It is a fact. They are whispering. How did we miss this? Because you were busy becoming while they were busy assuming. Because you were listening for the still small voice. Because you sorted your motives in private. Because you learned to love without losing yourself. They noticed your generosity makes sense now. You give because you lack nothing inside. You give because fear no longer runs your math. You give because you remember the days somebody fed you bread and belief. They tried to label you difficult. You are detailed. They tried to label you intense. You are invested. They tried to label you distant. You are discerning. They watched you do a hard thing. End a cycle. Close a door. Return the key. Replace your number. Release the pattern. They saw the old version try to rise. You told it kindly, we're done. They expected drama. They got decisions. They expected noise. They got clean endings. They expected a show. They got a standard. They found out you are a builder. You architect routines that hold you. Morning prayers that reset you. Small wins that trust you with bigger ones. You stack days like bricks. You make weeks into walls that keep wolves out. They are surprised by your softness. You hold babies like they are promises. You talk to elders like they are libraries. You listen to the tired like they are altars. You are gentle because you are strong. Not the other way around. They saw you study in silence. Then they saw you speak once and shift the room. You do not flood people with words. You deliver a sentence like a scalpel. You resolve what confusion multiplies. They realized you will not worship access. You were invited. You weighed it. You said no. You don't buy into rooms that charge your soul. You don't stay where language dishes your future. You walk yourself out. You bless them on the way. They thought the door they closed would bury you. It freed you. They thought removing support would slow you. It revealed the muscles you owned the whole time. They thought a rumor would own your story. Truth walked in like daylight and made shadows rearrange themselves. They finally understand. You did not change to impress them. You changed to obey God. You did not become loud. You became clear. You did not become hard. You became whole. Type Amen if this witness sits in your chest. Type I'm ready if your steps are already moving. Now hear what the angels are saying about each discovery. You shock them with your mind. Quick. Exact. Unintimidated. You ask short questions that require long honesty. You do not chase secrets. You create a climate where lies can't breathe. You shock them with your load. They saw 10 tasks. You carried 50. They saw 1 deadline. You managed 5 calendars and still remembered birthdays. You pay attention to the people others treat as scenery. You shock them with your fight. Not fists. Focus. Not rage. Resolve. You surface from a hard season with more humility and better systems. You shocked them with your circle. No cliques. Just covenant. People who would rather pray for you than post you. People who check on you after the party. People who tell you truth when you have spinach in your soul. You shocked them with your timing. You don't force. You don't stall. You seed. You water. You harvest when the fruit is honest. You shocked them with your peace. You protected your mornings. You learned the weight of the word no. You picked rest before regret. You left when your spirit was finished, not when the crowd was satisfied. You shocked them with your standard. You are kind. You are not convenient. You are gracious. You are not gullible. You are forgiving. You are not returning. You shocked them with your authority. You do not rule people. You rule yourself. You master your attention. You command your posture. You steward your words. You keep your oil. You shocked them with your abundance. Not just money. Margin. Not just comfort. Capacity. You are rich in focus, peace, and integrity. Your life feels like good soil. You shocked them with your magic. The unexplainable hand on your shoulder. The timing that keeps matching your prayers. The way closed doors become redirections instead of tombs. The way you glow when you talk about purpose. You shocked them with your death and rebirth. You buried patterns without funerals. You ended vows you never meant to make. You walked out of agreements with fear. You burned bridges that led straight back to smallness. You stood in the ashes and planted vineyards. Now listen to me closely. Here is what they are whispering to themselves tonight. I underestimated them. I thought they only felt, but they also think. I thought they only hoped, but they also plan. I thought they only pray, but they also do. I thought they were alone, but heaven keeps sending help. I thought they were attached to the past, but they're anchored to purpose. I thought they were waiting for me, but they were waiting on God. And here is what heaven is speaking over you right now. You are ready. Your mind is clean. Your heart is soft. Your spine is steel. Your hands are trained. Your feet are ordered. Your name is known in rooms you haven't entered yet. Your work will speak when you choose silence. Your character will cover what your reputation cannot reach. Your peace will outlast their opinion. Type 111 if you receive that alignment. You will not waste time arguing about your evolution. You will not slow down to make your growth palatable. You will not return to a language you outgrew. You will not apologize for protecting your grace. You will not abandon the boundaries that saved your life. You will keep your standards high and your schedule holy. You will treat your rest like an appointment with your assignment. You will treat your body like a temple and your mind like a library. You will treat your words like seeds and your habits like irrigation. You will be the friend who keeps confidences. You will be the leader who credits the team. You will be the partner who tells the truth the first time. You will be the parent who breaks cycles with love and structure. You will be the child of God who chooses obedience over optics. If you are still with me, listen. There is one more layer to what shocked them. They saw your face and thought your power lived there. It lives deeper. It lives where you and God had the hard talk. Where you told the full truth about your fears. Where you forgave yourself for staying too long. Where you forgave them without granting them access. where you released the idol of timing and embraced the Lord of Time. You did a brave thing recently. You asked for help. The right help. Not rescuers. Strategic counsel. You followed it. You simplified your process. You automated what drained you. You organized what overwhelmed you. You gave your future a calendar it could trust. They are stunned that you are no longer available for chaos. They are stunned that your yes is slower. They are stunned that your no is kinder. They are stunned that you can sit in a room and not fill silence with explanations. They are stunned that you do not beg to be understood. You can love people and still leave their patterns. You can honor history and still protect destiny. You can send peace and still send boundaries. You can be gifted and still be coached. You can be humble and still be excellent. Breathe again. Let your shoulders drop. Your growth is not an accident. Your courage is not a phase. Your wisdom is not borrowed. It is earned. If your spirit is saying this is me, right, I receive. Now we cross into the deeper revelation. Part 2 begins in your chest, not on this screen. Hear the rest like a whisper that knows your name. You are not who they met last year. You are not who you were the day they mishandled you. You are not the version that could be baited. You are not the version that would trade vision for validation. You now carry a Page of Swords focus with King of Swords clarity. You test ideas before you trust them. You check fruit before you follow voices. You ask, what problem does this solve? You ask, what does my peace say? You ask, what would future me thank me for? Your 10 of Wands season taught you logistics of grace. How to stack priorities. How to decline without guilt. How to build stamina with beauty. How to say, this is heavy, but it's holy. Your 9 of Wands season taught you to guard the gates. You learned the difference between privacy and secrecy. You learned the difference between a boundary and a wall. You learned to rest with your armor next to the bed, not on your body. You learned to fight only battles that change something. Your 3 of Cups season taught you celebration as warfare. You grew allergic to jealousy. You turned comparison into curiosity. You call friends into rooms where they shine brighter than you. You clap like their win was proof that God is in the neighborhood. Your "you're ready" moment arrived quietly. No fireworks. Just a deep yes. Just a clean path. Just the sense that the door you knock will be answered. Your 6 of Cups river gave you clean water from the past. You drank the lesson and left the chains. You honored your younger self by becoming the adult they needed. You kept promises to the kid who never felt picked. You built a home that smells like safety. Your spiritual adventure path made you spacious. You read across traditions without losing your anchor. You asked better questions instead of seeking easier answers. You learned the holy art of discomfort. You embraced mystery without abandoning truth. Your perfect timing evidence stacked up. Emails landed at the minute you set down fear. Calls came when you were about to compromise. Money showed up when pride finally left. Mentors appeared when humility opened the door. Your King of Swords mantle sits light on your shoulders. You wield influence without theatrics. You tell the truth in short sentences. You correct in private and cover in public. You keep receipts only God needs to see. Your 9 of Pentacles garden is growing. You cultivate quiet luxury. Time, health, focus, peace. You choose quality over quantity in every lane. You buy less and become more. You release urgency because excellence refuses to be rushed. Your divine magic signature glows in how rooms soften when you enter. In how hard conversations become honest around you. In how strangers tell you pieces of their story and feel lighter. In how your prayers sound like strategy meetings with heaven. Your death and rebirth moment sealed it. You ended the contract with survival. You signed a new one with purpose. You stopped negotiating with what kills you. You started negotiating with what builds you. This is what shocks them most. You no longer want to be impressive. You want to be accurate. You no longer want to be busy. You want to be fruitful. You no longer want to be seen. You want to be sent. Here is your immediate assignment. Small steps with eternal weight. Clear one drawer today. Delete one number that keeps your soul unsafe. Place one reminder on your mirror that tells the truth. Message one friend and speak life without asking for anything back. Schedule 1 hour this week for creation, not consumption. Love looks like structure now. Hope looks like habit now. Favor looks like follow-through now. Miracles look like momentum now. What did they find out about you? You are not available for cycles. You are available for covenant. You are not available for chaos. You are available for clarity. You are not available for attention. You are available for assignment. The person in question is replaying your last conversation. They heard the tone in your voice. Clear. Kind. Done. They felt the difference. Not anger. Alignment. They are pacing. They are tempted to perform remorse. You are unmoved by theater. You require fruit. Time will tell the truth. Your peace will keep the door. If they return changed, you will know. Not by flowers. By follow-through. Not by length of apology. By length of consistency. Not by saying I get it now. By doing I get it now when no one is watching. And if they do not return, it is also mercy. Some doors are exits and altars at the same time. You leave and you lay it down. You bless and you build. You release and you rise. What is the truth? You were never the understudy. You were always the role. You were never the audition. You were always the assignment. You were never the plan B. You were always the blueprint. Say this out loud with me. I am ready. I am wise. I am gentle. I am strong. I am focused. I am guided. I am protected. I am provided for. I am sent. Type I am sent if you feel that in your bones. Now, a word for your next 90 days. Expect invitations that require boundaries. Expect opportunities that require humility. Expect pace changes. Fast in some lanes. Slow in others. Expect old triggers to knock. They want a reaction. Offer them a ritual instead. Breath. Prayer. Water. Walk. Work. Rest. Repeat. Expect to be misunderstood by a few. Let it be. Accuracy over approval. Fruit over fandom. Peace over performance. Expect one idea to prove faithful. It's simple. It's small. It's sticky. It solves a real problem. Feed it daily. Let it grow without noise.